This is the male work in progress faces that are being worked on. Obviously, these are
why they gotta be bald.
I see that somebody said that I like the bald Asmongold look.
Yeah, people are like, we like bald. We like the.
Are
bald.
you kidding me?
Is Asmongold that bald? I don't think.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You guys are funny.
Hello everyone! Welcome to another 4K video in the development update of Ashes of Creation. Just wanted to take a moment to kind of talk about the progress and development of the preview for the Alpha 1 that's coming at the end of this year. What I'd love to do today is talk a little bit about mounts.
Yay!
Okay, here we
Is
go.
this where I get to finally ride my turtles?
Oh, should we ride turtles? So, okay, well before we get into some turtles,
the suspense.
Let us discuss a little bit. Actually, let me turn my UI on. By the way,
here we go.
Standard disclaimer: UI is placeholder. A lot of things need polish, so keep that in mind. There's really been no polish, and the UI is placeholder, and you might see bugs. So, yes, but but getting a little bit into mounts. So just to kind of inform you guys who are unaware. We have a few types of mounts. We have flying mounts that are kind of restricted
to
those
are hard to
royalty status individuals. Those are mayors and kings and queens of castles.
What do you guys think of the graphics?
From legendary bosses. Those are the mounts that are capable of flying. You know, you may only ever see 10 to 20 or so on a server at any given time. And then we also have our land mounts.
Yeah, I think
land
they look
mounts
good.
come in three specific tiers.
Oh, there's different kinds.
And each tier kind of has additional benefits. Those mounts have abilities, and they have skills that kind of get leveled up with the mount. And they can potentially glide. They can do cool roll effects. They can just kind of do a whole interesting amount of things. And that's really tied to our animal husbandry system. So players have an opportunity to kind of
that's cool.
breed specific types of mounts and stats and skills.
That's
and all that
really
kind of
cool.
You have a really unique twist on what's available out there. But additionally, outside of the land mounts and the flying mounts, we also have water mounts. And I love water mounts. Don't you guys love water mounts?
Yeah,
I really do. It's really, yeah. If they're done
you know what I want to be a water mount?
Doing them right.
A mermaid.
Yeah, because sometimes there can be weird mechanics for them that makes it hard to like swim.
Yeah, because they're hot.
Absolutely.
That's why.
So why don't we do a little demonstration of some tide snappers?
Okay, here we go.
Here
we go, guys.
Exactly.
All right, let's see.
What is a tide? Oh, there we go. We got a tide snapper.
That.
Oh my gosh, we have multiple tide snappers. I'm just gonna kind of walk next to you guys.
Oh my god.
So as you can see, the tide snappers...
So they can go on land,
the tide snappers are relatively slow unless they are fully submerged within water.
Oh,
and as you can see, they're not really in the water quite yet.
Oh my god.
A little spurt of water. Oh, another little spurt of water.
A turtle made it to the water. Look at that.
I love the
cool,
foam
refreshing
right
water.
here with this wave of foam lapping up on the
so
beach.
they're going to go out
beautiful.
into the ocean?
Coastal frolic.
Oh, shit.
All right, let me jump on a tide snapper as well.
Oh, shit.
Here we go. So as you can see, it's super slow on land. But once you get into the water submerged on an aquatic mount, you actually pick up some speed.
Okay. Oh, dude, go out to that rock, man.
I was like, why am I not going fast? There we go.
Holy shit.
You can go under the water. Oh, we're under the water. This is amazing.
I feel like a turtle or a mermaid or something. I'm into it.
I'm definitely
Watch your
drown.
breath.
I know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, don't drown.
Look at
We've done a few
this.
takes.
Yes.
That's
you gotta show them
nice.
the barrel roll.
The barrel roll?
Yeah.
Oh, don't look at that. All right, don't do a barrel roll. Ready?
Okay, here we go. Where's the barrel?
Hey! Hey, that was good.
That's cool.
That,
so, up and beyond. That is
some of the great things about the aquatic mounts is there's a lot of sea
cool.
content planned in Ashes of Creation.
Yeah,
and that sea
is
content will include ships of different classes. It'll include raid bosses and treasures and underwater dungeons.
Yeah.
And all of these things will be made much more accessible if you are atop an aquatic mount like this amazing
Holy
tide
shit.
snapper.
That's badass.
What are some...
So,
so go ahead.
I know a lot of people have questions like, will aquatic mounts be able to go as far as like big ships can go and things like that?
Oh, yeah.
So yes, aquatic mounts will be able to fully traverse the naval areas in the water areas in Ashes.
Okay. Okay. So you just bring the boys out to sea. You just swim on the fuck out there.
So an intrepid explorer could choose to traverse on his tide snapper alone.
Correct. As a matter of fact, there are going to be cool and fun things that you can do out solo in the waters.
That's
as
fucking badass.
Atop an aquatic mount.
Yeah, that is
like
cool.
On land, the tide snapper should like dig a hole and then bury an egg.
Wait, who's that?
Cool.
That's a super
doesn't
turtle.
Really like water as much.
No.
God
damn,
damn, that's a big boy.
He's a turtle.
He is a turtle, but he's actually a tortoise, a land tortoise.
Turtles versus tortoises.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
sure.
a galactic tortoise.
Galactic.
So he likes
wow.
space, honestly, as you can see inside of
Celestial
his
tortoise
shell. There is some some spatial areas. And
they showed that last time.
As you kind of
look at that,
move him around,
look
that
that,
space changes a little bit. It's kind of cool.
Look at that,
but if you get him close to water, he really doesn't like that. So
he's got shaper
kind of
influences
escapes
on him.
into a shell, and you're like, "Where are you, friend?" He's like, "All right, I guess it's safe."
This is badass. Yeah, you can't swim.
It's so cute.
This is awesome.
CatDany and I said the same thing.
Jinx.
Yeah, this is really, really nice. I will make the screen a little bit bigger.
Yeah, we've really got to give props to our animators.
Yeah, that'll be a
all
little
of
bit
our
better.
mounts are so full of character.
Oh, absolutely. And
wow.
to demonstrate kind of the difference, so you see, as a land mount, he's relatively fast on land. But if you take him into the water, he slows down. And he's like, but I must swim. I don't want to swim.
Oh, shit, okay.
He slows down, but he still looks cool.
So it's like in WoW.
Yeah, he does look cool. As a matter of fact, if you take him underwater.
Can he run underwater?
There we go.
I wonder how far out into sea you can go.
So many.
He sounds like he can't.
That'd be fucking
breathe now.
badass.
No, he has
poor
asthma.
raptor back there.
Violet's
like,
holy shit, man.
Violet's so
look at the raptor.
Aww, but look at it swimming. It's so cute.
It does look pretty awesome. Let me jump on a raptor
run out
too.
of breath.
Look at that.
What are some of the games you guys have played that have had awesome mounts and aquatic mounts?
WoW. WoW has good mounts.
For me, not so much the mounts, but when I'm playing WoW and I'm playing my druid, I really love my seal form.
Yeah, I think WoW has really good mounts. I like it a lot.
Jump in that water and also move at full speed. It's just great.
Yeah,
it's a good feeling.
It's just cool to change form yourself too. It's really neat.
Without stopping, like that's my favorite part of it.
Yeah, like it automatically does it. It's neat.
That's a nice mount.
For me, it's less like less of mounts and stuff. But
that's
Raptor
Raptor
I don't know if you
Jesus.
guys have played TFCs, but I really like their
Look at him.
Like water combat and the way that their ships work and stuff like that.
Oh my god.
The ocean definitely feels like a terrifying place in that game. The sense of danger that comes along with that.
He's gonna make him go extinct by putting him under the water,
Yeah, I think they've done a great job sort of modeling that like real authentic ocean experience.
Yeah, my experience
if they
in
want it to be
MMOs
really
with
authentic, they have to add dragons underwater.
Things of that sort have not been the greatest.
I'm waiting for that.
Underwater combat is never great. It feels like.
No, it's not.
There's a couple games that have done it okay, but I still think it's one of those.
Yeah,
things
it usually always sucks.
Nail and spend a lot of time with, because otherwise, if you just phone it in, it just feels bad, man.
Yeah, I agree. There's been a lot of, in my opinion, attempts at water combat and or water content that hasn't felt very good traditionally in MMORPGs. But I will give credit where credit is due. Arcade, I felt,
they need to add the Megalodon.
A really fun
they need to add an elite
naval
one with
content,
a cannon on his back.
both from a raid boss perspective as well as the interaction of those ships.
Yeah, those ships were a lot of fun.
Yeah, the ships were a lot of fun for sure. Let me see. I think I have another. Oh, I wonder what the bear looks like in the water.
The brew bear.
Where are you, Steven?
Seawater in his barrel.
All right,
I'm on one of these
let's see,
little
Mr.
islands
Bear. I wonder, can you
like,
take flying mounts into the water?
Yeah.
I wonder if you can do that.
Steven, go.
Where did you go?
Yeah, I wonder if you can do that.
Around
Oh, I think I see him over here. You guys, over this way.
Fishing? Yeah,
I just caught
it's
a
a
fish.
mount.
I'm guessing it's going to be a red snapper. We'll see.
Okay. So you just fished that motherfucker up.
I could feed it to a tortoise. That's
Wait, can you actually see the
Tortoise is
fish?
hungry.
Do I have a bear?
Oh shit!
You can get a bear.
Well, let's try the
Increased
Day Strider
resolution.
first.
I can try,
So
but
this
if
is
it
a
lags,
mule.
I'm gonna
Mules
change it
have
again. Okay.
Some cargo capacity. Very excited. The Day Strider is very. Oh, look at its eyelashes. Oh
Damn,
my gosh!
Yeah.
Holy smokes!
Look
Hey,
at that
girl,
long
look at
ass
that.
nose.
Yeah, but she's
all
super
natural.
excited to get in the water.
Look at that long nose.
Yay!
Oh shit!
Oh my gosh, I just see now what you're
You did a
saying.
little
Like at a
flippy
certain
floppy
angle, those
spinny
eyelashes
winny.
are massive.
Okay.
Yeah, those eyelashes are huge.
Okay.
Let's
Gotta
see what
keep
she
all the
looks like.
bugs out, you know? Mm-hmm.
All right, so we gotta walk
question.
on out
I know
there.
that someone had asked this before,
Look at that.
which was, will different mounts have different speeds?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, because this is like a pack mule, will it have a different speed and be slower?
Yeah. Well,
So
a raptor be
mounts
faster than a
traditionally
turtle.
will have stat groups and/or speeds associated with their first baseline stat, and then augmented based on
Okay.
their rarity from a drop status or
Okay.
from the profession of animal husbandry that players have available to them.
Okay. That's awesome.
What kind of things will
Yeah.
they be able to control in regards to
That's great.
animal husbandry and creating those mounts?
So outside of the visual differences that are going to be available, they will also have impact on the health, the types of skills, the speed that's available, the damage mitigation. They'll have influence over, I think that's primarily the main
That's
stat
awesome.
groups. I guess, that
That is cool. Yeah,
we
this
also
is
have
like a
influence over
whole
the
mount
traditional stat
progression
groups, so
system.
like,
Holy shit.
their combat effectiveness, accuracies, the type of the level of damage that the skills can do, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find the bear. Hold on.
Don't worry, I'll just be here fishing.
You should have a
Damn.
bear poke.
What do you guys think of the water?
Do I have a bear poke?
Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
Hold on. I have tortoise. I have
Can I breed my
snapper.
own
Oh, blue
mounts? Probably.
bear. Got him.
Love the water.
Got him.
I
Let's
feel
take
like
him
it
out.
has like a certain metallic texture to it, but I think that it's okay.
And he's swimming. Oh, he swims funny.
Bore effect
He's,
underwater
like,
is good. Yeah, I think this
stretching.
looks
It's like,
good.
what do I do?
The underwater effect I do
underwater.
think looks nice. I don't know if
Oh,
it would
that's
get
great.
annoying if you played with it for a long
I
time,
like
though. I'm
his
not
little
sure.
swims.
Oh, that's so
It's like
cute.
he's trying to
Yeah,
climb
that
through
is
the water.
Oh,
What do I do?
I need to get my beer.
He's like, let me out
Yeah.
of here.
Yeah, my
Like
rum
a
is getting
giant
tainted by the
donkey
salt water.
paddle.
Oh, it's kind of prancy. I like it.
Yeah, this is great.
Let's try one more. I think I have. I think there's a.
Okay. Can you have mounted
see
combat?
here.
That's what I
Do you
want to
have
see.
our little otter boy?
Yeah, where's the mounted
Which one?
combat?
It's
Okay.
gonna be like some monstrosity. That's
Yeah, this is
fun.
great.
Have we tested this before?
Okay.
Oh, I don't know
For example,
if we
legendary
have.
flying
That's
mounts
a
can be
very
used during
good
sieges.
question. Yeah,
Oh,
I see.
yeah. That's
Oh, yeah,
right.
Go around the
Yeah,
corner.
now I remember that.
Just gonna hide.
All right,
Ooh,
I'm going to.
dragon.
I'm going to attempt to summon.
I'm trying to
the
make my dragon
tiebreaker.
swim.
Wait, you're gonna make...
Does it swim? Oh my gosh, it does
I'm gonna
swim.
fish.
Oh my
The
god!
dragon does
Here
swim.
we go.
Oh,
Trying
look
to
at
swim
it.
it.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Look at it.
Oh.
What's he
doing?
What's he going under the water for, dude?
The wings are a little weird. I don't think.
Holy
they're done
shit!
Yet,
No.
but cute.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
great.
Our
dude.
animation team's probably like, oh my gosh, they're showing.
Well,
us
yeah,
I
this
know.
actual water dragon.
You wanna see.
Apparently,
In
like,
regards
it's
to
really hard to
mounts,
get the
the
dragons,
flying
though.
mounts,
It's fucking
will-
huge. Holy, yeah, I like that a
Are you
lot.
expecting them to be able to swim at the same pace as like
Fucking
other
underwater
creatures in the
dragons.
water?
So no, so aquatic creatures in the water will have the absolute best speed and performance.
You would hope
and
so.
Water-specific skills.
Yeah, you would hope
See
so.
Jeff's over here.
Yeah, we're creeping on him. It's like it's like
Okay.
he's got to go pee, so he's like hiding behind the rock.
Hang on.
I have
Okay.
a tide snapper.
So these
and
are
I
legend. Oh, he has
have,
legendary mounts.
Tide snapper. I
Holy
tried
shit.
To give
So there's, like,
myself
mount
the
rarities,
tide
too.
Breaker.
Oh my
That did
god,
not happen.
this is the
That's
mount
okay.
meta.
Yeah, so that's not available.
I like this a lot.
But there's a lot. I mean, just to,
This is
to
great.
give you. Yeah, go for fish.
Peter, are you seeing anything but mounts walking? Well, yeah. I mean, obviously you have to wait for the
There's
combat,
just.
right?
I mean, guys, just to give you again an idea. You know, Ashes has a lot of obviously
Show the
complex
fish.
systems, but they're all intended to provide the players' interaction points, basically agency over.
That is good.
You know, how your world exists around you, and that includes the types of animals that you can have as pets and or mounts through the profession of animal husbandry and the acquisition of these things. And they're diverse. They're not just, you know, monolithic mounts. There are specific mounts for specific areas, like the aquatic mounts or the land mounts.
I got to take a piss, but I don't want to get up whenever they're looking at mounts, man.
These are all obviously very important. Oh my God!
I can't.
I gotta dive into the water with a griffin.
I think she did.
Wait, she's drowning a mount.
Hey Toast, have you seen any like other questions about mounts specifically that you think maybe Steven could answer or Jack could?
I'll have to think about that one.
I don't have a bottle, man. I can't do that.
The one you asked earlier about the different speeds was a big one.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that asked a few times.
I'll be right back. I gotta take this.
Ooh, what about mounts that can have multiple people on them?
The group mounts, absolutely. So that was a part of our, I think a part of our Kickstarter stretch goals was the group mount. And the cool thing about the group mounts is they're going to have specific functionality that relates to multiple people, obviously. And they're also going to provide some pretty cool benefits, I think, that will make them stand out from traditional single-player mounts and kind of functions that the writers have available to them while they're writing based off of certain skills. So like normal mounts, single-player mounts will have specific skills that you level up that pertain to you as the writer, whereas the group mounts will have specific skills that can only be utilized by characters who are currently in the seat of a passenger position. So there'll be unique passenger positions that have correlating skills. Let me see if I can dive down. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, I'm swimming on this guy too. He's just like, I want some fish. Feed me.
Now I want to like create a serpent, like a big serpent creature.
Okay.
Like a water serpent?
Yeah,
the hell's
like
going
a big water serpent.
What's this?
A leviathan?
He missed? Wait, did I miss a dragon breath?
No,
I didn't. No, I didn't, dude.
Yeah.
No, I fucking didn't.
So I think it's pretty cool. You guys have anything else you want to chat about with the mounts and whatnot?
Oh my God.
I guess we do get a lot of questions in regards to like cosmetics and how people can apply those to different mounts and like which ones apply to which.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you guys know, we do absolutely zero pay to win whatsoever, and we'll never have pay to win in Ashes of Creation. However,
that is a good
that
thing.
Being said,
that's a great fucking thing.
When you have a cosmetic skin that applies to certain mounts, you must achieve that base mount first in the game. So we're not actually, you know, selling power or anything like that, or you're not achieving, you know, essentially these cosmetics to replace the in-game achievement.
Right.
Now, the cosmetics themselves will be applied to specific types of mounts. Remember, there's 3 tiers of land mounts, there's aquatic mounts, and cosmetics will apply based off of those tiers.
That's
so
badass.
If it's a flying-based kind of cosmetic that's capable of being on a gliding mount, you can apply that.
It's not really too big of a deal
to that tier 2 mount.
Yeah.
If it's kind
that
of
should be fine to me.
one here, let me see if I have another horse one.
Looks like an actual dragon.
There we go. So we have this horse.
Matt, again, dude, you're gonna say that again?
Tier 1 mounts, which you can get pretty early on.
Come on.
In the game.
An actual dragon.
I have a.
What do you mean by that?
I think I have a midnight mare.
Yeah.
Do
I hope so.
Okay, let's see what the next one is.
Do. There we go.
Okay.
Ooh, pretty.
Yeah. Oh, Toast has one too.
I do.
LaPerza, where's yours?
I didn't buy one.
Unbelievable.
Not buying every mountain.
I like how it jumps up like that. That's fucking badass.
What more do I need other than my
Yeah.
turtle?
You need every mount. Come on.
Komodo
Be a
dragons
true
exist?
collector.
That's not a dragon, dude. It don't even have wings.
But yeah, so we just wanted to jump in, guys,
Yeah.
give you another little development update, showcase some of the aquatic mounts and the mounts in general, and let you know that we are hard at work in continuing development towards Alpha 1, and we're excited to get you guys in.
Okay. Awesome.
So, with that being
That's
said,
great.
we will see you back on the stream, and hope you guys are having an awesome end of your September.
So the mounts, I feel like the mounts are cool.
End of September already.
Yeah, the mounts seem fine to me. Like I'm happy about this. Yeah, 100%.
Have an awesome day.
That's great.
We'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
No combat? Well, they might do combat later on, right?
Yeah,
They're gonna
bye,
have other
hello.
videos. I feel like the mounts do look cool, but I want to see some crazy badass mounts, man.
We hope that you enjoyed a little bit of content about mounts. I know we preempted that it was going to be about mounts, so hopefully people were prepared for that. But there was some conversation. I hope we answered quite a few questions that you guys had throughout the stream in regards to the mounts specifically.
Yes.
And like I said, this is going to be a long stream. We got a lot more content to show you all. But in regards to the underwater viewing, people were having questions about underwater visibility and what that's going to look like. And I'll have a further question after that.
Yeah, so absolutely. So there's a few things to know about the underwater visibility. Obviously, this is a very first pass approach on the ocean, both shader and the post-processing effects that occur when your camera moves under that shader. There are volumes that exist, and the post-processing is essentially adding like a distance fog, out in the water. It's adding a little bit of a blur effect. Those things are going to be revised and perfected as we move forward, just like all the art, as you've seen over the past couple of years in progress we've shown. They'll get much better. So this is kind of the first stab at it. Brian Gans and Tristan Snodgrass, they did a great job with the initial implementation of this water shader and the ocean shader itself. But it'll have a lot more work done to it.
That's awesome.
And then the next question is obviously, will there be underwater combat or mounted combat? And I think we've kind of answered some of this question before, but I know there's a lot of new people in the community, so if you don't mind reiterating.
Absolutely, yeah. So there is underwater combat. There is naval combat with regards to ships. This is obviously a very important part of the ocean content that's out there. There's raid bosses, there's dungeons, there's
caravans.
Exactly. Trade ships, essentially, as you move goods throughout the world. All of this stuff is going to have not just a player versus environment type combat setting, but also player versus player. So it's important that it feels good and fluid. Obviously, excited. A lot of MMOs have tried to get combat right in underwater environments, and as many of us as MMO players know, not a lot have hit the mark. So it's a tall order. One that we're going to be spending a lot of time
the Blackwater Behemoth fight was good.
Right to feel good.
Eternal Palace.
But it's being done early on in development, and hopefully we come up with something that's going to feel pretty good.
And just to reiterate, I know a lot of people in chat were saying they really enjoyed Guild Wars 2 and ArcAge. I saw some EverQuest folks in there as well. I know Jeff and I have worked on the EverQuest franchise before. I think it's just very interesting to see like what other people think and like what you guys like too. So if we were watching the chat, we enjoyed hearing it. And of course, you can always join us over on our forums, over on ashesofcreation.com/forums. So you can, so you can go check it out over there and give us your feedback. We always love reading that. Toast does a great job of putting together reports. So thank you. The next question I have here is also if people will be able to craft/make items that allow them to see better underwater.
That's a good question. Holy
probably
shit.
Not see better underwater.
That's crazy.
You will obviously have items that you can create, craft, and/or that drop. That will improve mobility in water, potentially speed in water. There could be buffs for underwater breath. There, a lot of mechanics there. But I don't know that we'll probably touch the visibility component of it.
Probably not. I mean, the blurriness you saw is just a factor of kind of where do we want to go with it. We're still playing with it. We're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, that's not really too big of a deal.
It's going to be a thing that we
want
way or
another
to have like an even
Steven
kind of experience with, right?
It's
people
fine
aren't
in my
necessarily
opinion.
going to be able to see farther than other people based on what their equipment is.
Cool. All right, should we move on to environment? We have a lot of other stuff.
The environment really matters.
The wonderful environment team. They have a lot of stuff for us today. The first thing I'm going to show you are some concepts and then the actual models. So I'll go through these pretty quickly. But we are showing off a lot of the housing stuff as well as node leveling up and what you're going to see in those node houses and things of that sort. So,
nice. Jeff,
if you guys want to talk about that while I kind of cycle through all of these, that would be great.
Great.
Absolutely. So you see here a bunk bed. As you know, there are family systems. For two dwarves, exactly. There is a family system in place, and furniture is an important part of the housing system. Furnitures will offer certain in-game benefits, such as this bed will have a rested experience benefit. However, cool, fun little thing there with that bunk bed is if you have another family member in the bunk bed with you while you sleep together, you get a boosted benefit from the buff. So
what? I didn't know this.
I know. And the same thing's true for the king size bed. If you are married in game and your spouse is sleeping with you in that bed, you get a different type of benefit. Right?
Just like
a different type of benefit.
Oh my god!
I'm just saying.
Oh my god! What a game!
A different type of animal husbandry going on there. So.
Oh no! Why?
Oh shit!
Oh my god!
Oh my
What's our
god!
ESRB rating?
I think T for teens, so right is what we're going for.
Just my fucking god, man!
As long as we don't display the, you know, like the Sims vibes, like you can see it, I think we're okay.
Yeah. Those pillows look really comfy, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's fucking.
Next up, some amazing concept art that is just chef's kiss. So if you want to talk a little bit about kind of what we're going for and
I like that,
all these different pieces, I'll walk through them.
Yeah,
that reminds me of Jurassic Park.
In the video, obviously we're in a little bit of a tropical environment,
but there's no dinosaurs.
Part of the Alpha 1 presentation at the end of this year is going to largely be in a tropical bay type area of the map. So, you know, these concept images that I believe these were done by Ryan Richmond, they provide the environment artists kind of sample biomes that they can target both the creation of foliage and these trees, the layout of you know, different bayous that might exist or inlets. That really kind of create, I think, a compelling atmosphere for this kind of tropical shore beach environment. And it's a lot of fun, I think, really just to explore. But here you get to see kind of the early concepts. And then as we move into Alpha 1, you'll start to see the representation in the actual game world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of funny, that first screenshot of
this looks pretty good.
Yeah, I can go back.
I thought that was
I hope the game actually looks like this.
That's kind of
I think it will.
Looking at right
I think it could.
Yeah.
You could have fooled me based on what we're seeing in the game. So, so kudos to everybody. Like it's coming together really nicely. Our designers are hard at work trying to populate this area. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
And one of the things really, like, you're seeing these types of rock formations present in another game that I played where you had ships and ship content. It was really cool. A certain part of the map had this kind of rock formation that you know, was similar here, and I thought that presented a really
you can
fun
sail
environment for PvP with these ships.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
Essentially, and you know, that's one of the components of
Atlas?
this environment.
That
that's
game
going
had
to
so
be
much potential. It just didn't
having
go
those
anywhere.
types of rock formations. It's also a high fantasy type of, you know, look too.
A lot of cool vertical space that we can use as designers to kind of change things up and make things feel really cool and different. You know, when you're a ship and you're coming into port, right, you got to kind of watch out what's on top of those rocks and make sure that you're safe and that nobody's going to drop in on you. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So mad props to our environment team, who has been just pumping out some amazing content, whether that be like the little tiny pieces that you're seeing in the houses and in the structures
everything about
and
this
in the
looks
buildings,
good so far.
the buildings themselves, and then obviously getting the feel and concept down of these spaces, and then being able to create those spaces that you're going to be experiencing. It's been very, very cool to see that come to fruition. So as we, you know, showcase more of it, you guys actually saw parts of this area too in that video, if you go back to the mounts video. So definitely go look at it and you'll maybe scout out where it is in the space there. I'm going to move on to our character stuff because we still have a lot more content to go through, and we have some Q&A as well.
Let's see the characters.
On to character. Now, Steven did do a little sneak peeky of our beautiful Ram Strider here. But
what the fuck?
This is such a beautiful piece. Jinsey
what do you guys think about that,
dude? Artists, and she does that all.
I bet there's somebody in this chat that wants to have sex with that.
Creating it out of her crazy mind.
I mean, we got 50,000 people in here.
Beautiful crazy mind.
There's somebody that wants to have sex with that goat.
Animating the piece and getting it in game in that regard. So it
100%.
is just amazing to
look at that musculature.
See it.
Incredible.
So I don't know if you want to talk a little about this little bad boy, but I'll show off some different angles of it.
That's fucking badass, man.
The Ram Strider is, again, like a tamed mount, effectively. These guys are things that you're going to find in the wild, also raised by people who raise such animals, and they're going to be a fun, cool-looking mount for folks.
Can you make the ram your wife?
Whenever I see that guy.
Steven.
Yeah.
That's what I think of him whenever I see him.
Yeah, it's...
That's what you were doing. I was wondering what you were doing on your phone. I was like...
That's a big mount. I love it.
He's a big boy, yeah.
Oh, he is thick though. But no, Jincy does it. Jincy does a great job, obviously, with these mounts, and you know, this is just kind of another example of really the vast array of possibilities that come with the mount systems. I mean, mounts are such a cherished and beloved aspect of MMORPGs. At least everyone I've
mounts do matter a lot,
and it's really cool to have a
mounts
a
are
very
the true
in-depth
in-game
system, I think,
for everything
to facilitate really complex and unique aspects to what players can acquire, to what they can collect, and that's obviously a huge portion of what many of us as players drive for in MMOs.
And we also just want to make sure that, you know, this feels like a fantasy world.
double
this
bed
doesn't feel like Earth. That there's some things that are familiar, but then there's other things that just are out of this world. And that's kind of where we get to play a lot in fantasy worlds. And we want to make sure that we don't kind of fall into these sort of staid kind of traditional expectations. We want to be able to change it up every once in a while, and this is one of those places.
I like that.
Yeah.
If you just had like a full body like pillow plush of this creature that just was like in your bed with you, that would be just
I don't know about the horns.
Would you get
though.
a buff?
Yeah, I don't know.
Would you get a buff?
I don't know if you get a
bro, what?
But I do think that this is amazing, and obviously, you know, we have a lot of mounts.
I told you guys.
And, we'll have many more.
See, I knew it, man.
Too, so don't worry.
I fucking knew it.
So with that, we also have saddles that we have created, and these are other pieces that you can put on your mount. So I don't know if you want to kind of talk a little bit about that. Obviously, this is one of the pieces that some of you have probably seen before, but there's going to be many other mount, you know, saddles and barding that you're going to see coming in as well.
Yeah, mount equipment is obviously very important, as is battle gear for pets. You know, these are gear chases for your pets, and your pets are an extension of you, really. So,
you get different
being able to kit them out with good gear is something that players strive to attain. And this is an example of kind of how those gears are partitioned on the mount itself. This is obviously a saddle that, in my opinion, looks very good. I would love to have that on my horse.
It's Balloon style, right?
So there are questions in regards to saddles, I think so. And if saddles will provide any extra benefit to people. Obviously, I think this is a cosmetic one, so this would not give you a benefit. It would just be a cosmetic you would put over the saddle that you currently have.
Right, so you would have to attain the saddle item itself, and then you can apply the cosmetic to that item. So again, you know, we don't actually provide through the cosmetic power, right? Exactly. Now, all gear has stat modifiers, so they adjust the stat of the mount and or pet, and then additionally some gear, based on its rarity, will add additional effects. That could be a base increase of speed for a particular piece of set, or could be damage mitigation for the saddle and or body armor. You know, those types of things are going to be present on more legendary gear and equipment.
That's very nice.
It's funny. People are like, look at my horse. My horse is amazing. Cool. Yeah.
Harmony a saddle for every alliance horse. That's a lot.
I don't know if there's any other one that I saw in chat. But moving on from there, we're going to move into some armor pieces. And I know, Jeff, you kind of want to talk a little bit about armor on males versus females as well. As you saw in the mount video, you could see that Violet, Light, and Jeffrey were both wearing the same armor, but there was like a little bit of differences between their armor as well.
Yeah, so I just wanted to point out, like, if you take a look at that video again, Violet, Light, and myself are wearing exactly the same armor set, right? Same stats, same everything. But it drops for her, it looks one way. It drops for me, it looks another way. And a big part of that is cool. A small part of that is gender, but then the other part of it is race. So because I was a Valoon in that playthrough, my armor was in the Valoon style. And when she picked it up, it was in the elven style because she was an elf. So that kind of gives you an example of sort of the breadth of looks that we're going for, and how we kind of try to capture, like, who you are as a character.
That could be cool.
Kind of allow you to kind of build your look that way.
So, I hope there's a lot of customization.
And a lot of games have kind of taken that direction. As a matter of fact, the inspiration for that particular approach came from my experiences with Lineage 2. I really enjoyed how they kind of had subtle differences between different races and genders wearing the same thematic set. And you would see, obviously, a crossover with the theme, whether that be, the materials and or textures and the color palettes, like that would maintain across races and genders. But there would be essentially a different representation of that armor.
This is awesome.
So that's a similar approach that we're taking with regards to the armor sets in Ashes of Creation.
I want to see some more.
It's that you're going to have one set that can be traded, can be sold, can be crafted, and then as that set is equipped by different races and or genders, it's going to have subtle differences between them.
It's always exciting for me when I hear you talk about games that I've worked on too, and I'm like, oh, Lineage 2.
Okay.
It's exciting anyway, no matter who's talking about it. But it's, to me, whenever Steven does, I'm like, aw. So this is the Dwarven set that we have, and it's very cool looking. I think Steven also might have leaked this to some folks on the Discord as well. I'm not sure if it was everybody, but
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I have bruises from last week.
No, stop it.
There are places you can't see.
Another thing that was leaked. So we have the Empyrean cloth armor that you can see here. The back and the front. So I'll kind of go through that again.
One on the left looks cool.
And this kind of gives you also an understanding of some capes. I know that some people saw a little bit of a representation of capes in Apocalypse.
That's way fucking better than WoW.
But here you can see kind of the diversity that we're going to have among the capes. You're going to have one-shoulder capes. You're going to have full-body capes. You're going to have cloaks and whatnot.
The WoW capes are boring,
and these are all kind of encompassing the back slot item. You can also choose, even if you have it equipped because they will have stats, cloaks. You can choose not to have them visible if you wish. If you wish to have a different back slot
matters a lot,
represented, whether that be a shield or a weapon, that's going to be something left to the players.
Okay.
All right, and then moving into like this is the female one, I believe. You can kind of see it.
So it's like higher level armor with like more stuff on it. That's cool.
And then
both these look good.
The male version.
Okay, let's see the dudes.
And they're in a T-pose because that's like.
Oh, we need to tighten up that waist a little bit. That's a big costume.
He's a big boy, man.
I haven't had an opportunity to review these, but these look good. I love them.
Yeah,
I think the armor looks very realistic in a way.
To me as work in
I like
progress,
that.
So keep in mind, this is a development update stream. This is all work in progress. None of this is final. As we've said a couple times already throughout the stream, even when we were in the mount video as well. And then with that, here's another render.
What the heck? Where's his head?
This is Valoon instead of Empyrean, whereas the other one
where's the dude's
Empyrean.
head?
So
Is this a Nazgul?
Empyrean and Valoon now. And
I love this.
Yeah, I love.
You guys gotta remember, like this is like the early level gear.
Panel plating.
Like I'm assuming this isn't like in-game gear.
And then we've got some Kalar faces. This is the male work in progress faces that are being worked on. Obviously these are.
Why they gotta be bald?
But you've seen, I think there's been a lot of commentary about like our models, and I know that they're working through all the models and kind of giving them all updates. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that, Steven.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's as you're creating the game the size of Ashes of Creation, an MMORPG in and of itself is one of the largest projects you can do in gaming. But Ashes of Creation, I think, takes it to the next level because we have a lot of ambition in our systems and features that we want to provide the players.
I'll be amazed if they release it with all the features.
Here you're seeing we continue development, these base models for the different races will continue to get refined further. And as we eventually get to the character creator stage, where you're going to see a lot of customization and flexibility in the deformations that are available, both from a character facial perspective as well as the overall body perspective, our goal is to aim for the stars in what is possible on the character creator front. And that requires a lot of custom work on essentially setting the parameters of the extreme sides of the spectrum on where players can deform targets on their character that they're utilizing through the character creator. So this is just continual work moving forward on these base body models to facilitate the goals we have with the character creator itself.
And this one is specifically Kalar if folks are interested in the race. And with that,
Right.
that is...
I see that somebody said that I like the bald Asmongold look.
Yeah. People are like, we like bold. We like the
Are
bald.
you fucking kidding me?
Is Asmongold that bald? I don't think.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You guys are funny. With that, I think we're gonna swap into our Q&A segment.
Oh my god!
I tried to get through all of the content really quickly because I know that we had a long video in there. So hopefully you guys enjoy the development update as far as that goes. We're gonna grab some of our questions
I just can't
from
get away from
the
it.
forums. So first and foremost, it's going to be our one from Unknown1 on the forums, which asked, what prevents someone from having their friends or guild members kill them to reduce their corruption and give them back their gear/items after death?
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good question. Very good question.
Nothing would prevent that.
Okay.
If they are capable of successfully hiding away from the bounty hunters that can locate them on a map.
Shut the fuck up, guys.
And
they
are capable of being killed, then
shit.
yes, that is a way potentially that you could manage to remove corruption. However, there is significant risk with that, obviously, and there's significant downfalls with the death penalties that get applied to a corrupt character. So they're not subverting the penalty per se. They are mitigating the risk on the drop of particular gear. But essentially, the bounty hunter system, because the bounty hunters have the ability to locate corrupt players on the map, that severely kind of impacts the ability for people to move to a safe area with their friends and attempt to avoid the loss of gear. But again, they're still going to suffer those death penalties, and they're still going to have the risk of bounty hunters and even other players locating them and killing them.
All right, cool. Our next question here is from Sheko, and also, I guess it's two people who had this question, and it's CFSU? Sorry if I pronounce your names wrong, which asked, have you decided whether the world of Vera will be plane or sphere? Able to be circumnavigated, which I think we've had this. I feel like we've had this question.
It'll be just like Earth.
The answer is
it'll be flat.
Yeah, there will not be world wrapping in Ashes of Creation.
Yeah. Oh, world wrap. Oh, okay. Right. Okay.
And then
so that means it's flat.
Our next question is. Will swimming have limiters like stamina to prevent people from swimming all over the place? And this is from Mr. Tea Time.
There will not be
for deep water swimming, probably is what you're talking about.
Well, there's breath, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think he's maybe referring to like the ability just to swim out in the open water on the surface.
Okay.
And there's not a limitation from a stamina perspective. There is, however, on breath, obviously.
Cool. Oh, and I guess that question has been answered. The navigation one was answered in PI, but not publicly. So I'm used to hearing the answer, I guess. Our next question is from Bricktop, who wants to know, will there be a hard cap on the number of players that an AoE spell can hit in PvP?
Better not be 5.
Or is it just kind of like in the conal space or in the
that shit better not be 5.
So, we have not come to a conclusion on that yet. We're leaning towards no. But that is going to require additional testing. I know other games that have done that, and this is kind of damage AoE mitigation or diminishing returns. And while I believe diminishing returns are appropriate from a CC perspective, I don't believe limiting the number of contacts made for AoE skills is something that feels good as a player.
That is true.
It also kind of changes the way that large-scale PvP ends up playing out.
That is very true.
Where the AoE becomes kind of limited and doesn't serve as the counterplay against certain types of strategies that it should. So that's kind of, we're still talking about it. There's still decisions to be made there, but that's a big part of it.
I like that in Classic, like the big AoE fest. That's fucking badass.
Wants to know, will players be able to party duel in addition to 1v1 duel?
Oh, like Arena.
I don't see why not. I like the idea of having group versus group. It's essentially just extending that flag out to the active party members.
That's great.
There would be some complication, not complication, but there would be some additional logic necessary if the player were to drop a party per se in the middle of a duel. But I don't see that as being too difficult. So it's something that's on our radar. Yes.
All right.
Interesting. Yeah, that is a thing that somebody might try to scam. So you'd have to find a way around it.
That's good.
Cool.
That's good that
I think
they
it'd be fun to,
automatically
put down a
just
flag
assume
and,
that people were going to
just
scam in the
battle it
game.
out. Our next question from
Smart.
Delon is, if your node is at war with a node your guildmate lives in, does that stop you from being able to party with your guildmates, raid, and defend your castle if the defensive siege happens during the same period as the node war is happening?
Oh, yeah.
So it won't prevent you from being able to party, and it won't prevent you from participating in co-events that are present. So if the guild affiliation, if the desire of the player is to participate in events, they can still do so, but they'll have to be cognizant of the fact that they're flagged for war with each other.
And Zenmara.
And by the way, that is subject to testing and change. There are some complications. Obviously, the affiliation tier, the affiliation structure is complicated because there's so many what we call pseudo factions. Essentially, being a non-faction based game is, in my opinion, great. But you need to provide the opportunity for two things: one, for pseudo factions to form, and two, for soft friction to occur between those pseudo factions. Right, and that's what compels players to engage in these types of
PvP. A little battle, a little skirmish,
decisions of friend
gang
or foe,
war,
right? Right, and that can help to instigate conflicts. But because of that complexity in the affiliation system, there are going to be some oddities that form between different affiliations that you may have, and how they can be at odds with one another. It's kind of the philosophy of the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of a theory, right? So we have to play with that from a testing standpoint, and that is subject to change. But it is something that is obviously at the forefront of our minds when it comes to that.
I like to hear that. That's great to hear.
And I would like to preface that all of the content that we put out is subject to change based on testing, not just that one piece.
That is true. You would hope
some things are closer than other things, but like we haven't
unless
done
it's
covenants, large-scale testing
then
yet, that kind of will
can't
allow this
change
stuff to kind of fall out, and we'll start to see where the problems are and what we can do to fix them.
Dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Stay tuned.
Okay. What's the next question?
I think we did did we do the naval one? I can't remember.
Yes.
So our question from Zenmara is, will naval combat be included in the siege aspect of seaside nodes? With harbors having both defensive and offensive capabilities.
Some Age of Empires
I've answered this in the past with regards to nodes that are near the coast will have harbor hooks that develop alongside the node's development. Those harbors will provide obviously ship construction locations. They'll provide specific sea-related content and questing. And during a siege of a node that has leveled that harbor up, there will be objectives for the attackers and the defenders to be cognizant of during that siege that reside within the harbor. So there's an opportunity there for ships to engage in part of the siege components when it comes to these events.
Bro, that's badass.
And then our question from Cass is, if crafted items will be on par with best in slot items, does that mean we will craft legendary quality gear too?
Yeah, but you get the massive raids, right?
It's going to require legendary quality crafters to do it.
Yep, and legendary quality materials.
Yeah, that's what I think you said last time.
Dark Furia wants to know, will gear only have a limited number of times it can be repaired?
Ooh.
No. Gears can be continually repaired. Yeah, the idea behind the decay system for gear is not to make it, a background thought, as many MMOs I've experienced in the past have done with this trivial, gold component cost of repairing that gear, and that really doesn't scale well. But instead to make it more material based, whereas materials are obviously going to be the life force of the crafting system. As long as we are capable of placing that additional burden of demand on the material systems, that will also help to contribute to the life force of the gatherers and the processors, and helps to just continue fueling that economy.
All right, that's good.
And then our question from Nico
creates value for the materials all the time.
Can tab-targeted abilities be augmented to become action and combat abilities and vice versa?
I think he said yes on this one.
I think some can, right?
Yeah.
Not
Probably
really.
not.
Really?
No.
Okay.
So I mean, obviously, there's a complexity layer that exists between
Okay.
balancing
Maybe I
action-based abilities and tab-targeted abilities.
Yeah,
Now,
I thought it
some
did.
abilities, when advanced with additional skill points, can change some of their targeting mechanics.
That's what I
Okay,
was
that's what I
but
thought
that's
he
not
meant,
going to be a simple flip switch where I get to choose at any moment, hey, I'd like to have this ability be an action ability in outside of its tab ability. You'd have to progress the specific ability to a stage where it allows for that. Right, Jeff?
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then also we don't want to necessarily mess up somebody's experience based on what they're expecting from a given ability, right? So we want to make sure that the functionality of the ability makes sense in its progression so that it's still usable by the person who wants to use it, right?
That makes sense. Yeah, I like that. I agree.
Then I'm going to ask 2 bonus questions as well because
all right, bonus questions.
I
love those.
Bonus questions?
Yeah, because
oh my God.
Steven had mentioned that some of them were he'd already answered, so I want to make sure that we just cover it. So Parsival or Par 551 Fall wants to know. I'm assuming it was trying to be leet speak. What a character's cloths.
Leet speak.
When a character's cloths or cloths.
I haven't heard that in 10 years.
I don't know why I'm saying cloths. When a character's clothes are affected by the environment, is this just cosmetic or will it change a character's resistances?
Okay, that's a good question.
When a character's clothes are affected by the environment?
Yes.
Is
it just cosmetic?
I don't even know what that means.
Or will it change a character's resistance?
Okay.
So in a past stream, you had talked about how if you're in a cold area, that there may be potential for abilities to have effects. Based on being cold.
Yeah.
But I don't know
climates...
if there has been specifically armor that will have effects.
No.
I don't think so.
There are climate effects that occur from a buff standpoint. They can also affect skills. Like let's say you're using a frost bolt in a winter climate. There's the ability for those effects to be enhanced and or stronger in those climates. But I do not understand
I think
so
that would be kind of cool.
I was just saying that it's because someone was saying
that would be cool.
Armor got wet in another video that we had. Like you came out of the water and it looked wet.
Oh no.
That's like how it used to be in vanilla.
In a live stream a long
you cast a
time
fire
ago,
spell on a fire elemental and it doesn't do anything.
To make a thing dirty as it's being used.
Yeah, duh.
But that was not something that we were ever talking about as something that's really going to be
it's more cosmetic. Yeah.
And that's probably not a direction we're going to go. Right?
And we're probably not going to have the dirtiness either because from a performance standpoint, it is really
seems like a lot of work.
Multiple on the on trying to render as many clients as the client has to render.
It's actually true too.
That's a little more difficult, I think.
It's a lot of work.
So there isn't going to be clothing or armor that changes based on what's going on in the environment.
Yeah.
All right, and
next bonus question.
Ooh,
okay.
Got loud there. Dark Tide wants to know: will there be a guild audit log in game or exportable that shows
IRS?
who leaves and joins, /promotes, kicks, etc.?
No.
Yeah, one thing I cannot stand as a guild leader in previous MMORPGs is when you log in and your guild count has changed and you have no idea why. So
whenever people transfer,
and it's perfectly possible because we keep those logs ourselves anyways, for us to provide the guild leader and or officers with a log of events that occur. That includes deposits, withdrawals in the guild bank. It includes promotions. It includes kicks. It includes leaves. Those things should be available
minus transfers
for the guild to see.
That's annoying.
Yeah, and I know I've talked to Toast a few times about doing some more guild-oriented community things that we'll be doing in the future, so stay tuned for some of that content.
Ninjas.
Or sometimes they will be things where we'll kind of get a bunch of people who are interested in talking about guild stuff together. So definitely stay active on our social media. It's right below me at Ashes of Creation and all the places. We'll let you know. I'll do one more question, which is from Nostra, which is, how might high-level players be able to help or interact with their low-level friends
killing
through the
them
mentorship program?
Yeah, so the mentorship program kind of provides individual quests that can be initiated by the mentor based off of what node that they are a part of.
Wait.
So these are like requests that are
high-level
determined
players
by
can give
either
low-level players
certain
quests?
buildings and or organizations or the mayor, and there are specific ones that are available for mentors to provide mentees, and they can also participate in some of those quest lines as well, whether that be leading your mentee through a dungeon, or providing a location for them to arrive with you at, or escort quests for the NPC caravans, or these types of things when done together with your mentor will provide benefits both for the mentor and the mentee as well. So you're incentivized to participate with new players. Obviously, one of the biggest problems that MMORPGs have is the new player acquisition. MMOs do great with retention, but they tend to fall short on the new player acquisition standpoint.
People start playing.
One of the ways that the node system addresses that is a large portion of the initial nodes in a game are going to grow mainly around the introduction points around the world. And because they change the spawn tables and the area around them, it keeps it relevant for the later stage players to be returning back to those nodes, which, as we know, a large portion of MMORPG's experience is the social experience. And the reason why traditionally MMOs have had a bad time from a new player acquisition standpoint in the past is because new players join an empty starting area that's no longer relevant, and the base player population has moved to kind of an end stage kind of level. So you don't really see anybody in your initial parts of leveling, and that can kind of be a little bit of a downer and kind of be a problem for the whole social aspect. So because the nodes drive people back to these areas and those areas stay relevant through the changing spawn tables, there are opportunities there for new players to be introduced to a social environment.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add,
I'm glad to hear that. That's fucking awesome.
Structure of a node itself is kind of agnostic in terms of what your level is, right? So if the mayor builds a building and all the citizens need to help build that building, you as a low-level player can contribute just as much as somebody who's a higher level. So there's always going to be opportunities for new players to engage with these nodes, which is great, right? It's going to make it feel like a living world, a world that is constantly changing, is constantly moving, that there's always something for you to do beyond just your dailies.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think we have completed
send all little nubs out on quests,
I'll
go get that. Go get that for me. Go do that for me.
It has been a journey for us. We appreciate everybody who has, followed along with us as we've, giving you guys updates every month. We've been putting out a lot of content in between as well. If you follow us on our social channels, I think they're over here.
Mayor Asmongold.
At Ashes of Creation in all the places. We have a lot of dev discussions that are going out. Reminder that we do have a dev discussion coming up. So definitely join us with that. We also have our Glorious Gourd contest, which will be giving away some Alpha 1 keys as well as some other goodies.
I just want to play. I want to play the game, man.
There might be
I'm ready to play the game.
Card for the top winner.
Let's get to the game.
Holy smokes.
So since Steven already spoiled some stuff, I might as well spoil a little bit more at the end. So for bonus for people who stuck around.
Okay. All right, here we go.
But yeah, we'll definitely have some cool stuff. So stay tuned, and we love you all. We appreciate everybody who's helping us test. We're going to be opening up testing for more people as we progress.
Yes.
But please be patient with us. Obviously, we're working really hard, but there are things that, along the journey, we have to kind of assess whether it's important for us to add more people and when it's good for us. And really that heavily relies on engineering and design and people to really give us the hey, it's now time to test these things. And
makes sense.
During these testing phases, you're going to see a lot of bugs. You're going to see a lot of, performance things that we need to adjust. Right now we're in pre-alpha. We're early. So please stay tuned with us.
Yeah, and just to chime in there a little bit, I know I have to give my obligatory disclaimer here is we are building something that is massive. And our team is phenomenal. We have some very dedicated, talented MMORPG veterans, and we are all dedicated to making the best quality product possible that answers the call of what many of us as MMORPG players have asked for over many years. We're not aiming to be the WoW killer. We're just aiming to fulfill kind of the promises we've made, as well as the ideas and philosophies that resonate with you guys as gamers. So that process takes time. There's going to be unknowns, things that come up that we have to address because our end goal is to take the time necessary to deliver the product that we promised and that you guys want to have. So bear with us during this process. It is a lot of work. And we're happy to do that work because we want to see a smile on your guys' faces.
We want to play too.
And we want to play too, exactly.
I'll be happy when I get to play the game,
you guys'
dude.
support and tuning into our
I'm ready to play the game. Let's start playing right now.
We have a great community team that does an awesome job in having some fun interactions with you guys out there. And we'll do some events in the future. And if you're not registered for the website, go register, participate in the forums, chat with us. We love to hear your feedback. We love to hear your experiences. It's all really important to us.
Yep. Please definitely send that our way. We do have the cosmetic swapping over soon, so stay tuned for the next set. We also have a creative director's letter that will be coming out soon as well.
Okay.
I know Steven's working on that. We've had a lot of stuff that has been going on our side, so we're trying to get prepared for all of the things. And stay tuned with us. We have a lot more stuff to show you all along our journey, and we'll see you next month for some more content. We'll also be uploading that other video as a 4K video. I believe it's just taking time for us to render it out and upload it. So once it's up, we'll release that as well as this live stream as well. So thank you guys and gals and pals and everybody for joining us. And we'll see you next month for another development update.
Love you all. Have an awesome week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Oh, shit. Oh, bye.